hopefully it's an ECU issue and not just the fact that my car is huge with a solid rear axle and plays teeter-totter between the front and the rear. Because technically what I'm thinking, if you air this side up and air that side up, the front side will keep the back up and vice versa. Show you what's going on. Here's my setup. Dual 5-gallon tanks, dual compressor, and here's my VU4. I'm gonna let the rear all the way down, both sides, and press the number 2 again. So the problem was that I really wasn't 100% happy with my AccuAir E-Level, because something was going on with it and it was just really quirky, and when I'd go to my presets it would keep adjusting and then eventually go into error mode and give a fault. Compressor kicks on. It's letting air out of the right rear again. I don't know if that's an ECU issue or what the deal is. And now it'll just sit there and click the VU4 forever.
Forever.
And again, it's at a point that it's letting all the air out of the right rear. Now it's just clicking. And we got the fault again. Right rear. That's the most common one. I've seen it do it on the left rear. Driver's side. Driver's side. But again, there's no air in the right rear bag. I'm going right rear, left rear, both down. I was invited to do a podcast called Lincoln Addict. You can find Lincoln Addict on Instagram, Facebook. The guy Jason, super nice guy. I'm talking for the podcast, I was telling him about the issues that I was having with my air ride. And he's familiar with AccuAir and has it on his Lincolns. And he said, why don't you go on the AccuAir E-Level owners page on Facebook? He said a lot of people air out their problems there and they can find solutions. I said, okay, cool, yeah, I'll do that. And before I could even do that, he actually called me back and said, hey man, the guy from AccuAir who monitors the page, talked to him about your problem, and he said, it sounds like you have a couple of your sensors, the wiring harness crossed up. And I was like, okay, I'll check that out. In my mind, I'm thinking, no, nonsense, because I'm very meticulous about following directions and pretty savvy when it comes to that stuff. And AccuAir, to their credit, everything's laid out for you. The sensors the harnesses for the sensors are marked, number marked. And so just for giggles and to kind of put that out of my mind, I actually went under and I unplugged the right rear sensor, which was my problem child. And lo and behold, when I did, the keypad gave me a fault for the left rear sensor. And I was like, wait a minute. So I plugged it back up and I unplugged the left rear sensor. and it gave me a fault for the right rear sensor. And come to find out that the wiring harnesses were mislabeled. The wiring harnesses from AccuAir are labeled sensor number 1 is your left front, sensor number 2 is your right front, sensor number 3 is your left rear, sensor number 4 is your right rear. And my 3 and 4 were mislabeled, so I flip-flopped them and recalibrated, and I'm happy so far. Haven't had an issue.